the Lakers Nation Philippines podcast.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Charles with the Lakers Nation Philippines podcast. So I want to talk about three things right now. One, the opportunity to sign Tyson Chandler. Two, the whole, I guess you can say it was fodder in regards to Magic Johnson supposedly admonishing Luke Walton. And then three, as far as for the point guard position happens. So let me first talk about Tyson Chandler. I'm so happy to hear the news that he is expecting to be cleared with waivers, and then we'll finally have a backup big. Everyone in the Laker Nation has been preaching for a legitimate backup big. Now, if you have JaVale McGee, Tyson Chandler, and Williams, I think you're doing all right. Ironically, Zubats played a really good game and scored 9 points. But I don't feel that Zubats is going to be much of a serviceable, albeit second or third string backup center. If he gets waived, I'll be happy to see that. Unfortunately, he doesn't really give much consistency to us. But I was very happy that he was able to score 9 points. Maybe another team might use him, but good luck to Zubats in that case. In regards to Magic Johnson, supposedly reported by Woj and Dave McMenamin, admonishing Luke Walton. You know, he comes from an older school method of being hard. Magic has a smile, but he's been known to have a killer smile, just like Isaiah Thomas. And I know a lot of people, he himself, Magic Johnson himself, is stating like, hey, let's, be patient with the roster. But at this particular point, if you guys have ever managed like a group of people, a team of interns, you will be susceptible to changing your mind quite often. What I've noticed with a lot of the games, we were so close into winning, and in Magic's eyes, this is the Western Conference Finals. This is the Western Conference. You can't tinker too much. Now, in defense to Luke Walton, Magic Johnson did not give him a proper backup big. I think everyone who are pro Zubats, they said, okay, Zubats can play the backup 5 position. Nope. He's a little bit underneath serviceable, from my opinion. Secondly, the assumption that you can give minutes to Mo Wagner, but we can't anticipate, one, health, and two, just because he's healthy doesn't mean he's going to play well. He's a rookie. So I guess the thought of Mo Wagner being the third string center who's also going to be playing garbage minutes was there. But guess what? He got injured. Ironically to that too, is as Luke Walton tinkers with the lineup, one of our favorable starting lineups is really tall. You have Lonzo Ball, who's 6'6", and then 3 guys who's roughly about 6'9". You have Brandon Ingram at the 2, LeBron James at the 3, Kyle Kuzma at the 4, and then you have JaVale McGee, who's 7 foot. And that's what I've been trying to preach about people saying it's a small ball era. I still feel you need a center at most who plays like a pogo stick and will alter shots. Right now, with having both Tyson Chandler, though it's not the Tyson Chandler of 2011, he's a former champion, he's a veteran, and he knows how to play according to his limits, which is great. Now you can stagger minutes with JaVale McGee, who should be playing anywhere between 15 to 25 minutes. Maybe Tyson Chandler can give us another 15 to 20 minutes, and then you can have Williams come in and fulfill whichever amount of minutes. I've also mentioned before on the Golden State Warriors, during their first tenure, they had Andrew Bogut, they had Festus Ezeli, and Spates. So they had a legitimate 3 bigs that were both staggered in minutes also. And then when it came to a time where you had Anderson Varejao and Zaza Pachulia, they had 2 legitimate serviceable bigs. And that's where I feel the era is come to. I saw an ad and a link about Omer Asik. At first, I liked the option of having a big guy to help back down people. But now, since Tyson Chandler is the opportune basketball player, I'd rather go with Tyson Chandler. And then finally, in regards to, actually, let me continue with Magic Johnson. So he's just pulling out the whip. I think it's great fodder and for sports talk as such to talk about Magic Johnson pulling out the whip on Luke Walton and the coaching staff. But you know what? You need that. You need a shakeup. Because from Magic's perspective is, why lose the games that we should have won? Why lose? Now, there's also the reasoning where Brandon Ingram and Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo got involved into that altercation. So that comes into defense with Luke Walton. But at the same time, you were close with a lot of those games anyways. So I wasn't that upset at Magic. Now we've won 2 in a row with Dallas and at Portland, which is great. And I feel that it's working. You know, if this was an up-and-coming team, which Luke was okay to help tinker with lineups, it's great. But with LeBron James, I think it's the first 2 seasons. We have to win within the first 2 seasons because come third season, and if LeBron James decides to sign because he has an option for the 4th year, he's definitely going to be the third wheel. I mean, he would be the third player, but he's not going to be optimal LeBron James at this point. And what I've been noticing with LeBron James is come 4th quarter, either he's tired or because he has to turn it up, there's no consistency. Unlike the likes of Magic Johnson and Kobe Bryant, where they both didn't have to step back as much when they were the leaders of the team. They can just go, and there's a certain amount of consistency. Props to LeBron James to where he's playing observer, passer in general, and then he turns up at certain moments. But what happens there is come 4th quarter, you don't have the rhythm. So if LeBron were to turn up, which it looks like come start of the 3rd quarters as of late, where we've been blowing teams out with larger leads, like anywhere from 14 to 20-point games, that's when LeBron James should really keep the foot on the pedal, step on the gas, and don't stop. So that's it pretty much for this quick pod for the Lakers Nation Philippines podcast. Signing off, and it's Charlie here. Thank you so much for tuning in.